everybody having fun? Are you still awake? Like, I really didn't want to talk last because I'm like, by then I feel like everybody's half asleep, but I promise I'll act like a complete idiot and keep you laughing and awake the whole time. So, first I'm going to introduce myself. I am Kelly Fitzhenry, and I am a star director from right here in Iowa. I live in Manson, which is a couple hours north of here. And I am here to talk to you about jet setting and goal getting. And we're going to put a lot of the focus on how to earn the incentive trips, or whatever the incentive may be. So, first of all, whenever you have a big goal, it's super important that you, number one, set a specific goal and write it down. And two, you know what plan you're going to follow to reach that goal. And then three, you need action steps to reach those mini goals that you set. So we're going to be talking about that. How many of you guys have been on a Sensi incentive trip? Woo! Lots of people. I was up in Minneapolis on Saturday, and we had a room probably twice this size, and I don't think I saw that many hands go up in that room, so that's pretty awesome. Okay, so the one thing I want to start out by really focusing on is the fact that even if you're an essential consultant or a certified consultant, these incentives are absolutely for you also. How many of you are a newer consultant who has seen these incentives announced, or maybe your upline has talked to you about specific goals and you think immediately, there is no way that I'm going to do this? That's your first mistake, right? Because everything that we do starts right here. So you have to change your mindset, first of all. That's so important. And I'm here to tell you that these Sensi incentives, that gets really hard to say over and over. It's kind of a tongue twister. But they are set up so that everybody at every level can absolutely earn them. You just need to create that plan and then take the actions in order to make that plan work, okay? So, how many of you guys, the beginning of the year, had a resolution or decided that you wanted to lose some weight? Seems like we all do this, right? January 1st, time to lose 10 pounds, whatever. Well, I'm going to be kind of going back and forth between the weight loss thing and the incentive thing or the goal thing because they're very similar in a lot of ways. Because, for example, if you decide that you want to lose 20 pounds by, say, June, do you just continue waking up every morning and having a couple glazed donuts? And, well, trust me, we would all like it if it worked that way, right? Do you come home from work and put your pajamas on, immediately sit on the couch, have your husband throw a frozen pizza in the oven, and then as soon as that's done, you turn your favorite show on and have a bowl of ice cream? I mean, you have to make some changes, right? What kind of changes do you have to make to lose some weight? Let's talk about that. I mean, this is easy. What do you have to do? Exercise, eat less, plan. Yeah. And like I said, you have to take some of those bad habits out too. If you're sitting around on your buns all day and doing absolutely nothing, maybe instead of sitting around eating that bowl of ice cream, you should tell yourself, even for 20 minutes, before I have the ice cream, I'm going to go get on the treadmill and I'm going to walk for 20 minutes. It's just a matter of kind of exchanging certain activities for other activities, right? And you have to make the time for it. And just like I talked about having a plan. Same thing with weight loss. If you're going to lose weight, you have to know, what am I going to do? Am I going to count calories? Am I going to do the keto diet? Am I going to go to Weight Watchers? You need to know exactly what types of changes you need to make in order to follow the plan, okay? Then you have to do the action steps to follow that plan. Then, now I'm going to jump to a different situation. So how many of you people think that if you try to earn a Sensi incentive and you don't reach your goal, that you've done nothing and you're a failure and now you feel bad and you beat yourself up because that was such a waste of time, you didn't even get to go on the trip? Does anybody feel that way? I see one hand. I know that there are a few people out there that do feel that way. It's like an all or nothing. And this is not what these incentives are put in place for. They're definitely not supposed to be an all or nothing. Because, for example, how many of you kind of know how these incentives work, like as far as the trips? Amy does. Some of these girls do. So you know where you get your points from. So why do you think Scentsy gives us these incentives? Do you think they wake up one morning and think, you know, I bet those consultants would love to go to Cancun. We should just send them there for the heck of it. Or, you know, years ago they gave us iPads and stuff. Do you think that they just said, man, our consultants could really use some new technology in their lives. Let's just give them some of that. No, they're giving us these incentives so that we focus on the areas of our business that help us to become stronger, better consultants, right? So what things do you think the incentives are meant for us? What areas do you think that they're trying to help us grow in? Recruiting. Selling. Customer service. I heard somebody say consistency, promoting. So really, if you don't earn in the end, what has happened in the meantime?
You've grown your business.
You've built your business. You've probably become more confident in the things that you're doing so that maybe the next time an incentive comes out, you'll have an even better chance to earn, right? Because you're getting stronger and stronger by focusing on those specific things that Scentsy has pointed out for you. That's why they break it down the way that they do. So for example, if you normally are only talking to one person every 6 months about joining your team, but you know by looking at the qualifications that if you sponsor umpteen people and get them to certified, you're going to get points. Do you think you're going to talk to more people? Absolutely. So the point that I'm making before I get into the actual planning and all of that is the fact that whether you earn the trip or not is absolutely not the reason for these incentives at all. It's just to make you stronger in your business and help you to stay super laser focused in the areas that you need to work on anyway, right? Okay, so, and this is another one of my references back to the whole weight loss thing. Because for example, let's say you want to lose 20 pounds by June, but June comes and you've only lost, say, 15 pounds. You didn't fail, you just didn't quite get there. But I bet in the meantime, you've probably changed your eating habits. You've gotten a little bit better about moving more. You're paying more attention to the things that you need to do to lose weight. So you'll just continue on and you'll get to that goal eventually, right? Okay, so now, let me look at my notes. All right, how many of you, when they announce the incentive, go immediately to your workstation and print out the qualifications? Print them out. Study them like your life depends on it. I still see hands. Right. These are the people that earn trips, you guys. Because you have to know where every single point is coming from if you want to be able to earn. It's just like anything. If you don't know where you're headed, how are you going to get there? Right? So you have to print it. Don't just look at it on your workstation because you'll probably very rarely go log into your workstation and look at this qualification. I mean, it's like 3, 4, 5, 10, whatever pages long. But I'm telling you, it's so important because those of you that are working on earning the trip right now, do you know that in order to be in the top 100, they're going to double your non-PRV points? How many of you know that the non-PRV points will be doubled in order to determine the top 100? I love this. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hardly any of you. So I'm telling you guys, like, there are chances that some of you, if you knew this, if you knew you could get points at the end by them doubling, once you qualify for 2, you might be able to be in the top 100, but you don't even know that you can do that, right? So study the qualifications like your life depends on it. You've got to know where every point is coming from. So that's the first thing. All right. so now, how many of you have ever seen this? I'm still really shocked at how few have actually seen this. But that's good, because that's why I'm here. I'm not talking to everybody that's going, this is so boring, I did this already. So this is also going to be on your workstation. Anytime, well, especially these big incentives, like, you know, the one that starts in August is the big trip, and then it's, to my knowledge, we're gonna get another one in February, right? That's what everybody else understands. I'm looking at Amy and she's nodding, right? I mean, that's my understanding, but anyway, so what you wanna do is you wanna print this out, because this is your map. This is how you're gonna earn the trip. This is how you set mini goals for yourself, okay? And I'm gonna break down how I do this, just so that those of you who have never done it kind of have a little bit of an idea when you get home, and if and when they do give us that new incentive in February, which I'm really hoping for, because I could use another warm trip next January. How many were in Cancun? Woo! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 6. Oh my gosh, it was absolutely amazing. I see people on the director page saying, I hope it's not a trip this time. And I'm like, get off this page. I mean, I don't know where you live, but I live in Iowa, and it is 50 below zero. I want out of here. So, I'm really hoping Heidi and Orville don't see that. Or at least that they don't listen, because it's absolutely insane. That's just my opinion. So anyway, the trip tracker is what I use to keep me on track. And I can tell you guys, I have been on 11 or 12 Scentsy trips. Oh, by the way, I've been with Scentsy for 10 years. So if you're like, wow, how did she do that? I've been with Scentsy for 10 years as of January 4th. So that's super exciting. Because back up, when I joined, I was actually doing a different direct sales company. And somebody twisted my arm to just start this, and it was new, and I thought, I'm gonna need some of that, I'll just get it for a discount. Here I am, 10 years later. But yeah, the trips are so amazing, and once you go on one, you'll never, ever, ever want to miss another. And I would love if I could help even just 1, 2, 3 in this room set their plan to earn the next one, so that you can be there and experience how awesome it seriously is. So this tracker is telling us, now this is the old tracker, okay? So the next one may not be set up exactly like this. But for example, it starts out with PRV. So we get 1 point for every dollar we sell. So I look at this and I think to myself, you know, oh, my average sales every month are yada, yada, yada. I'm not gonna set a number because I don't want anybody in here to go, you know, well, that's too high, because it doesn't matter what your number is. Focus on the areas that you're good at. If you're awesome at selling, sell to everybody in the world. Sell as much as you can. If you're awesome at sponsoring, get out there and build your team. But don't forget about the other areas. You still want to focus on those too, but I'm all about going for my strong points first and then working on the other things that I need help with. So PRV, I'll look at it and think to myself, here's approximately what I sell every month. So I'm gonna look at this, and I'm gonna put that number in my mind, across the board for every month, August, September, da-da-da-da-da. But then I'm gonna look at it and think, okay, but September, the new catalog comes out, so let's just say I'm gonna add, you know, more people are gonna have parties, more people are gonna want to smell the new scents. So I bet I can sell an extra however much during that month. So you're gonna put that in. And then you might look, especially for this last one, you know, we go through the holiday season. So you don't wanna put your averages in there. You wanna put some pretty big numbers in there, because you're gonna push yourself. Nobody earned an incentive without pushing themselves. That's why they say we earned it. We never win it. Does that drive you guys nuts, those of you that have ever earned, and somebody goes, oh my God, you won another trip? No, I didn't win it. I worked my buns off for this trip. Come on. So you want to push yourself. The next one is PRV consistency. How many of you in here have a team? Even just one team member? Awesome. So you know that if you sell at least $500 every month, you can start to earn off of your team too. So that should be your goal every single month. And if you sell $500 5 out of the 6 months, you can qualify for some consistency points, which are awesome because it's usually a really big number and a nice little bonus. So you're gonna do that. Then it talks about getting new recruits and getting them to certified. That is my worst area. Like, I don't know what my problem is. How many of you are good recruiters? Ooh, see, I'm glad I'm not alone. Not a single person raised their hand. Honestly, I just was talking to somebody today and I said, I know what my problem is. I just have a really hard time changing my ways. It's I don't ask people. It's that simple, and I know that. But since I'm good at selling, that's all I focus on is selling, selling, selling. But I need to stop. So anyway, you're going to guesstimate. If you're not recruiting a single person ever all year long, I would say pretend you're going to recruit at least one person every single month, because you're going to get out there and you're going to ask everyone. You're going to flip some hostesses. You're going to let them use their host rewards to get their kit. There's all kinds of ways that you can have that recruiting conversation, right? So anyway, I'm not going to continue going through this every single little bit, but you want to break it down and just forecast what you can do and then add to that. Like anytime you're thinking, well, I usually sell about $1,000 every month. No, now you're going to put that you're going to sell $2,000 every month or $1,500 with everything up it, and that is your goal. And then in the end, you look at this sheet and you tally it up. And you always want to shoot for the highest level in the sense of the incentive, right? I mean, I know we can earn level 1, level 2, level 3, top 100, but shoot for the moon. Because even if you don't get there, I'm not going to say you'll land in the stars. It's okay. Because you have focused on the areas of your business that you need to focus on anyway, and you've probably become a stronger consultant. So you're going to tally that all up. Get your number. If you're missing numbers, like if let's say you need 35,000 points and this only adds up to 32,000, get back in there and add those in somewhere. Because this is your map. You need to know what you're trying to do every single month. Okay? So that is extremely important. I do that every time, and then I like hang it up on my refrigerator or right in front of my computer on my desk so that I'm always looking at it. And then at the end of every month, you go in and you look at it and make sure, okay, I said that at the end of this month I was going to have 2,500 points or whatever. If you do, celebrate. Buy yourself some new shoes or something. If you don't, then you need to go look ahead at the next few months and go, where can I add those extra points in? Because you don't want to get behind. Okay? Now, we're going to talk about the action steps. So we have a goal, and we have our plan. We've studied the qualifications, we've mapped it all out, we know what we need to do. But now how do you reach those monthly goals? Right? So what is the main way? I shouldn't say that because it's not for everyone. What is one of the big ways that you get a lot of points? I was looking for selling because it's just where it's going to lead me into. So for me, how many of you guys have lots of parties? Then it can be home parties, Facebook parties, basket parties, whatever. Not really too many. I think a lot of people rely on Facebook, which is great too. But parties are awesome because you're not just reaching those same people that you're always talking to on Facebook. You're doing a basket party, you get those orders back, and now you can follow up with 8 or 10 new people that you've never dealt with before. And if you continue following up with them, you build those relationships stronger and stronger and stronger to the point that they love you, they want to support you, they will order from you, they will host parties with you, and someday they might even join your team. You can't continually grow your business without meeting new people, and parties are one huge way to meet new people. How many of you struggle to book parties? like hardcore struggle, everybody tells you no. Nobody's really raising their hands either way. Well, this is what I want you to do. Because I have some good ways that I get people to do parties, but I want you to kind of break off into just little tiny groups and just discuss some ways that you can get people to say yes to you when it comes to hosting a party without just saying, hey, do you want to have a Scentsy party for me? I need to get some sales in this month. Like, because I know that's what some people do, and that does not work. You need some new, fresh ideas. So let's talk about that for a few minutes, and then I'm going to go around and have you guys share so that everybody else can get some ideas, new ideas maybe, on how to get those parties booked. Give you about 2 or 3 minutes.
My arm is dying.
There's so much. In the beginning, we had a lot of them, but nobody. I know.
I don't want a whole bunch of people at my house. That's my
Well,
house.
it's not at your house. It's at the hostess house.
I've done my own. Or you can have like a party room, like Pasquale's in Fort Dodds has like a party room, and it's free. So you can just invite people, order a couple pizzas, smell.
Sports page. I know sometimes they have it in the back there. Get our friends together and sip and sip. Sip and sip.
I did one of those actually at my house, and it went really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that once where everyone brought a bottle of wine or whatever in a brown paper bag. We marked it 1%. We got schnockered and
made money.
Yeah.
So how pressing is it to wait till tomorrow? But I have 2 parties. One of them's Breeze. I'm like, you should just join that.
I know.
Because she gave me this big, huge order from the funeral home. It's like 100.
Okay, did I give you enough time, or are you still deep in conversation? Everybody's good? Okay, so raise your hand if you have a really awesome way that you book parties with people that might be a little different than just simply saying, hey, do you want to have a Scentsy party? Got one over here.
I took the word party out of my, when I asked people, I just asked them if they'd be interested in taking the testers and sharing them with their friends, taking them to work, and just take the word party out. I think it scares them. And they're like, I can't do that, I'm done. And actually it has worked a lot better than saying, hey, let's have a party. And I just give them the basket tester and I'll have the order forms and stuff in there, and they say yes more often, I guess.
I like that. Good job. Who else? Everybody's like,
Okay, I do a lot of home parties and book parties, but the way that I book the most parties are from home parties, and you can call them shows, whatever you want to call them. So I do booking games where we put the scent circles on these beads, and the hostess gets to wear them, and she has 3, and then if the hostess books 3 parties, then the hostess, people who book the parties get their cent circle and the beads. Sometimes they give it back, they can do whatever they want, you know, that beads for a prize or whatever. But then those just gets a gift as well. So, and that is the quickest way for me that I found booking parties, because each party that books is different. Because you have 3 different whole new groups of people that you're going to be partying with, and it just keeps going.
I like to do themed parties, so like a spa party or I've done wine and wax or sip and sniff, and that usually catches their attention more than, you know, just a party or show. They can actually have a theme to it. You know, come over and do their laundry or come over and soak a bath bomb and use our lotion and stuff like that. They really like that kind of stuff. So that's how I do my parties. Right. Usually my parties.
I know, right? I mean, it's true.
I'll usually bring a bottle of my favorite, and then I'll make figure out what kind of favorite one of their favorites.
Awesome. And I love home parties. Frankly, I wish I could get more home parties. People really don't want people in their house, though, because then they have to clean and all that. But that's really where you can get more parties. It's just getting into that first one.
So I initially started by doing a lot of online parties, and I wasn't a big home party fan. But neither were my customer base, but I found that doing bingo parties at my house, and I cap my people, how many people attend, and they need to bring a guest. And so that guest is how I make a new customer base. Every bingo party I have has been over 750 or more. And I do at least one every other month. So it's actually been a really good thing for my business, because it kind of got stagnated for a minute, and now it's been growing by doing bingo parties.
What party?
For Sharon. And I think, who is it? Rachel, what's her last name, is doing a big training right now on Facebook about that. I don't know if any of you have seen. What's her last name? Rachel, somebody. What? Rachel Pence, yeah. And I'm not sure, I haven't watched it, but I know bingo parties are huge right now. Everybody's doing bingo parties. I need to learn how to do it. Did anybody else want to share an idea? Okay, well, the biggest one for me that seems to help is basically what Carolyn said up here in the front is, I don't know about you guys, but I have people come to my house a lot to pick up their orders because they're all local, and so, of course, I get them free shipping and have it come to my house. And when they come, I already have a bag of testers and a packet of order forms, catalogs, all that jazz, ready to go, sitting there. And I literally take it like this. The minute they walk in, I'm like standing around the corner. And I'm ready for them. And as soon as they come to get their order, I'm like, oh, I hope you like that. Hey, I have this set of testers here. It's not doing me any good. Do you want to take it to her? And they're like, seriously. Well, yeah, I guess I can. But honestly, I mean, it seriously works. Everybody laughs when I say that. But if you just have it ready, and you're just like, I mean, I don't really shove it into their arms, but kind of. I'm like, here you go. Why don't you take this? And they almost always will, because you already have it ready. You're not making it hard. You're just like, hey, I already have this ready, and it's not doing me any good sitting here. Want to take it with you, and maybe your coworkers will want to smell some of this? And then you follow up, you know, in the next few days, and let them know, hey, if anybody decides they want to order, we might be able to get you some free and half-price stuff. And guess what? They're having a party, but they don't know that. So that's how I do it. Okay. So that's one way of earning points. We've got PRV. Parties, like I said, are huge to me. I just think we've kind of gotten away from parties because Facebook is so huge for everybody. But you're not building those relationships as much with Facebook. You're kind of blasting stuff out all the time. People get tired of seeing it, you know? And it's like, if you want to be more personal and build those relationships that will build long customer relationships, you have to talk to them and really work with them and get to know them. So parties are big for me. Another way to get PRV, of course, is follow-up. You guys all went over and listened to the Maven presentation today. Follow-up is huge. I'm really bad about follow-up, but I'm trying to get better because it is amazing and it makes you feel so good when you send somebody that text and say, hey, thanks for your order. I know you left the washer with, just wondering if you're ready for some more or whatever. And they write back and say, oh my God, actually, yes, thank you for messaging me. I've been out for 2 days, I just keep forgetting to call you. Like, that makes you feel good, because they actually were glad that you got in touch with them. So follow-up is big. I keep a car kit in my car, so if I run into somebody, I've got samples and catalogs and order forms and scent circles and light bulbs and whatever they might need. You want to keep that stuff handy. Now that's all about getting PRV, but I'm going to start running out of time if I keep on that. So let's talk about offering the business opportunity. What are some ways that you guys have found work for you when it comes to sponsoring a new consultant? Let's talk about that for about 2 minutes. Because I need some help, and I know everybody in here needs some help, because nobody raised their hand when I asked who was a good recruiter. So maybe even just share your struggles, what's not working. Maybe we can figure it out that way. But chat with your neighbors a little bit about, you know, some of the things you thought about trying or want to try or have tried, and let's discuss that for just a few minutes.
Well, I've sat there and had like 5 different people at some point. They were all like getting along, like think about it. You know what they end up doing? Joining up under somebody else after I've done all the damn work. Bailey flipped my party.
That's the thing, flipping parties. You give them to have a party and then flip it and say, guess what?
Here's your jump start. That's the only way you should not read it. It's just like, listen, you do this, and then you sign up. And I'll give you your party.
So you lost out on the sales, right? But you gained a teammate.
Actually, since the family reunion, because Kansas City, like she's talking about, oh my God.
Just do it.
I can't hear you. Sorry. Well, even if like I put in a $200 order, like I'll put in my VIP page, like I can give somebody who wants to sign up their kit, like even off my orders.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I'm still getting the PRV, but they're getting the kit and they get to sign up. Oh, that's a good idea. So then you wouldn't have had to have flipped it.
That was
you could have gotten the
gave
PRV.
us voice
Oh,
option.
with it.
Let's go ahead and
It's an
talk
option
about
now,
sponsoring.
Yeah.
You guys must have some good ideas, because I hear lots of chitter chatter. I hope you do anyway, because I'm ready to hear it. All right, so raise your hand if you want to share something that has worked well for you when it comes to sponsoring a new consultant.
Have you had people sign up?
Nobody's raising their hand. Okay. Okay, you can do that.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, so I'm going to be kind of honest. I've not done this for several months, and I see it in my business. We were just talking about how I need to get back in this. But in the past, when people have asked me for a catalog or a sample or my card, I used to have opportunity packets instead of just a catalog or just a card, always. I've been really bad at making them lately, and my recruiting went down. I mean, I have had horrible recruiting this year. So I'm seeing a difference in my habits. When I don't do these things, I'm seeing a decline in my business. So what I used to do was hand these things out. Oh, you have a catalog? Sure. And I'd have them in this cute little folder with catalog. But also, you know, and so what I was saying to them was, sure, it's an investment. Yes, it costs money to put these things together. I would say that I'd spend between $10 and $20 a month making them, between all the things I put inside of them, but I was recruiting 15 to 20 people a year when I was making.
Do you want to tell us what you put in your recruiting packet?
Yeah, I did like catalog, center warmer of the month flyer. If there were any other promotions like harvest brochures or holiday brochures, when we had like new Cincy Goes come out or when we had the diffusers come out, I would put those brochures in there as well, because highlighting a brand new product. I had a My Story card that I would put in there, which could simply be you typing something out on your computer in a Word document, half a page, cut it out, cut it in half, and you can have something like that put in there. And I did like a thank you note. So the ones that I would carry in my purse were always really simple. It was great meeting you today. Thanks for chatting. You know, hope we can chat soon or talk again soon. It was super basic.
So you kind of knew what worked. It's just that we
Yes.
get busy and we change our habits, and then all of a sudden it's hard to get back on track.
I mean, I've been selling for almost 8 years, and so I think you'll see the longer you sell, we all go through cycles in our business, and I went through a lower, like a valley in my business, and I'm starting to come back out of that this year. And those are some of the things that I need to start doing again. So.
Awesome, I love that. And one thing I want to add to that, and I've never done this myself, I don't think, but I've heard it said many times that this is what we should be doing. For example, if you are, say, in Target, my favorite store, and you have on a Scentsy shirt, and somebody starts asking you questions, let's say you have that opportunity packet, and they ask you for a catalog. Instead of just giving them the packet, I've heard people say that they keep like a sticky note on the packet, and before they give it to them, they say, oh, let me give you this packet, but first of all, would you mind just jotting down your number so I can follow up with you in a couple days or whatever? Because otherwise, you're handing out this information all over the world, and you may never hear back from these people, and you have nobody to contact to follow up with. And like I said, I've never done that, but I hear it works. Somebody back there does!
I do it. I like never want to really speak, but I do that. I quit doing business cards, within the last year at events even. And so every single person that asks me, I'm like, I went electronic with my business cards, can I text you my information? I have never had this phone number.
See, that's awesome. Now she has their phone number. I like that even better when you say,
You put them on the spot, and they're like, they don't even think about it, they just give it to me.
yes.
And then I can follow up by saying,
I like that better than writing it down, because that just sounds so natural too, to be like, what'd you say? Like, I'm trying to go electronic with my
yeah,
business.
I go electronic with my business cards, and then I just text them my website. And then I'll text them like a week and a half later, casually, just following up.
Yeah, that's
I haven't gotten to
awesome.
recruit, but I've got customers.
But you know what? You know how it works? It's like the more people that you do that with, eventually you're going to find that one person. It's the needle in the haystack. That's the way it works, right? Okay. Anyone else want to share real quick? We're running out of time, I think, but we've got about 5 minutes. Okay, well, you know, right now, I think it's exciting that we can offer the opportunity supernaturally to every single person that hosts a party with us, because we do have that host exclusive kit. So instead of somebody coming to you and you telling them, well, it looks like you had a $500 party, that means you can get 3 half-price items and $75 worth of free product. The first thing that you should be saying to them is, before I tell you how much free product you can get, let me tell you, you could actually sign up to become a consultant today for nothing, and you can get all this stuff that comes in this kit, you know? Or whatever their level is that they're at with their party. They may be able to get their kit free, they may have to pay $20, whatever. But the kit value is fabulous. Like, they might as well get that instead of picking free and half price and start their own business, right? And it's super easy and natural to offer that because it's basically our job. They deserve to know that that is a choice. They can either sign up for the business or they can pick out some free products. Because wouldn't somebody be mad if they were thinking about joining your team and you didn't offer them that opportunity, and a couple weeks later their friend tells them about it and they're like, oh, my consultant didn't tell me that, or I would have joined for $20. I mean, they need to know these things, because otherwise, if we don't tell them, they have no idea. Okay, I'm getting off topic. So anyway, basically, these are just some of the action steps that you have to take to reach the many goals that you've now set for yourself every month, right? You can't set those goals of selling this much, sponsoring this many, yada, yada, yada. My mouth is getting dry. I did this in Minneapolis too, only it was way worse. You guys, seriously, I'm just gonna tell you right now. Last time when I was in Minneapolis, it was the first time I ever spoke in front of anybody. My top lip was like this the whole time. Because I was like, oh my God, my mouth is so dry. Ask these girls in the front, they were there. And I was practically like taking that carafe of water they had there, and I'm like, and it wouldn't stop. As soon as I got my mouth like, okay, I can like move my lip now. 5 minutes later, I'm like in my head thinking, oh God, it's coming again. But anyway, it didn't happen so bad this time, so anyway. So we have our plan made out, we've studied the guidelines, we've created our plan, we've broken it down month by month by month, we know what we need to do, we know what the actions are that we have to do in order to reach those mini goals, right? So why wouldn't you be able to earn the trip? You already know what you need to do. You just get out there and do it, right? It's hard work, but I'm here to tell you, you will not feel any better in your life than when you finally earn all the points you need for an incentive. Like, you will feel like you won the lottery. It's the greatest feeling in the whole entire world. And you know how they say the things that you work the hardest for are the things you appreciate the most? It's so super true, because it is hard work. Once again, that's why we do not win these trips. I hate it when people say that to me. Oh, you're so lucky, you win these trips all the time. I didn't win, right? So you have to do exactly what I said. Print out the qualifications, study them, print out the trip tracker, write out your goals, and then start planning immediately. How are you going to book more parties? Make that list of 100. Start calling people, start texting people, reach out to past hosts, reach out to past customers, whatever. But you have to work every day towards your goal. You can't wait until the incentive is 3 months in and decide, wow, I better step it up. I hardly have any points. It won't work. Right? So did you guys learn anything today? I sure hope so. The other big thing I want to point out too is, real quickly, I have a girl on my team that when we had the trip to Punta Cana, I had to think where it was, and then the top 100 was going to Africa. Like, first of all, she had no idea that she could possibly earn this trip to Africa. And once she had earned the trip for 2 to Punta Cana, she was kind of like, whew, I don't have to try anymore, I'm done. And she and I went to New York for leadership. And when we got home, and she looked at her, you know, they showed you that time where you were as far as top 100. Like, she was there, and then it just started slipping away. She wanted to kick herself because she let her momentum slow down. And she's like, had I known how close I would be, I would have kept going and going and going and pushing. But she thought she was done. So that's another thing that I think is important, is to start as hard and fast as you can and go that fast the whole time. And don't stop till the very last day, because this is not over. Just like now, I'm kind of glad that we don't know where the top 100 is, because I think everybody's still pushing like crazy, no matter where they're at with their numbers. Okay, excuse me. So that's basically all I wanted to get across to you today, but I do promise you that you can do this. So get those thoughts out of your mind. As soon as they announce the next incentive, don't start saying, oh God, there's no way we can get that many points. Because you can. Just follow these guidelines and break it down, and then just laser focus yourself on those mini goals every month, and you can do it. Who's going to be on the next trip? I am. Okay, so now we are moving on into the next room for the final general session. There's super exciting stuff going on over there today, so make sure you know where your tickets are.